All right, gentlemen, I am the master of the list. We are going to 3 points, and if I call a halt, you will halt. Do you understand? Very good. Gentlemen, take your positions. Stand you ready, and lay on. Oh, cut to the hand. 1 point for Murdoch the Merciful. Huzzah! Score stands at 0-1. Gentlemen, stand you ready and lay on. Nope, that caught only the grip. Yep. Good. Cut to the torso. 1 point for Lord Wheeler. Huzzah! Score stands at 1-1. Gentlemen, stand you ready and lay on. No. Light. Was it? Was it good? Was it was it a stab? Okay, so we'll count that. So, 1 point for Murdoch the Mighty. Score stands at 1-2. Gentlemen, stand you ready and lay on. It was a strike to the head. The counterattack was late. We're going to count that as that is, I believe, the 3rd point and match for Murdoch the Massive. Let's hear it for these fighters. All right. Oh, he wanted more, I think. But all right, gentlemen, I am the master of the list. We are going to 3 points, and if I call a halt, you will halt. Do you understand? All right, gentlemen, take your guards. Stand you ready and lay on.
Oh, disarm! Yeah, take it down!
I think it's in. I think it's in. It's in. Halt. 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 Very good. Just before they fell, the dagger found its mark, and that is going to be a point with the dagger for Sir Ryan. Huzzah! You're actually kneeling right over your weapon here. You're actually on it. There we go. Oh, it's both of the swords. Yes, one of the swords is right there. Very good. I don't know whose is whose. That's yours? Very good. All right, score stands at 1-0. We're getting our gentleman back in position. Here's your dagger. Do you want it in the center like that? Off to the right. Okay, very good. We're just getting them back together so they can continue this fight. It's a bit exhausting, isn't it?
Where did he stab him?
Yes, these fighters are the ones who are crazy enough to say it's a nice hot summer day. Let's put on our heavy solar ovens and go outside and hit each other. All right, gentlemen, the score stands at 1-0. Stand you ready. Lay on. I couldn't see those. That was caught in the armor. Keep going. Good. Halt. No? Okay, that looked like it was on the arm. Was it on the plate? Oh, missed completely. Okay, then let's reset. Did any of those other attacks land prior to that? Thinking leg? Okay, because a lot of those I could not see. All right, so we're going to count one in the leg here. We're going to give that as a 2nd point for Sir Ryan. Huzzah! All right, we're going to get him recentered here. Score stands at 2-0. As you can imagine, this is quite exhausting to do this. Properly fitted armor will move with you, but it will drain a lot of extra energy out of you and make you tired a lot faster, not to mention be restrictive in breathing as well. All right, gentlemen, let's center up about here. Let's come downfield slightly. Score stands at 2-0. Gentlemen, stand ready and lay on. Good. Halt. Yep, there was a thrust into here. Yep, very good. We're counting that as a point for Lord Matthew. Huzzah! There was a thrust to the shoulder that landed. All right, very good. The score stands at 2-1. And we need to make an adjustment. There we go, very good. Excellent, score stands at 2-1. Gentlemen, stand you ready. And lay on. Yep. Did that get in it? Yeah, that looked good to me as well. All right, very good. That is third point in match for Sir Ryan. Huzzah! All right, gentlemen. Now you get to take your helmets off and actually breathe for a moment. We have Lady Brune versus the Titan. All right, fencers. I am the master of the list. We are going to 3 points. If I call a halt, you will halt. Do you understand? All right, fencers, take your positions. Stand you ready and lay on. Nice. Halt. 1 point for the Titan. Huzzah! Score stands at 0-1. All right, fencers, stand you ready and lay on. Good. That was a thrust straight to the neck. It was light, but it was right on target. So we're going to count that as a second point for the Titan. Huzzah! Huzzah! Score stands at 0-2. Fencers, stand you ready and lay on. Good. Halt. Nice thrust right into the chest. That is third point and match for the Titan. Huzzah! Let's hear it for our fighters. All right, thank you. All right, fencers, I am the master of the list. We are going to 3 points. And if I call a halt, you will halt. Do you understand? Very good. Take your positions. Stand you ready and lay on. Good. Halt. Cut to the arm. 1 point for Lord Dawson. Huzzah. Fencers, stand you ready. Lay on. Oh, looked like there was a cut to the side. That is a second point for Lord Dawson. Huzzah! What was that? Did it hit his shoulder? I didn't think it landed. Yeah. No, very good. We'll just consider that the second point. All right, fencer, stand you ready and lay on. Good. Oh, solid thrust to the chest. That is a point for Lord Colin. Huzzah! Huzzah! Score stands at 1-2. Gentlemen, stand you ready and lay on. Good. There was an attempted void, but didn't get out of the way enough. So, solid thrust to the torso. Third point in match for Lord Dawson. Huzzah! Let's hear it for our fighters. Fencers, I am the master of the list. We are going to 3 points, and if I call a halt, you will halt. Do you understand? All right, fencers, take your positions. Stand you ready and lay on. Looked like a solid thrust. Yes, very good. So, thrust to the upper torso. 1 point for Lord Connor. Huzzah! All right, score stands at 0-1. Gentlemen, stand you ready and lay on. Aha! Thrust to the neck. That is a 2nd point for Lord Connor. Huzzah! Score stands at 0-2. Gentlemen, stand you ready and lay on. Ah, cut to the leg. That is 1 point for Lord Justin. Huzzah! Score stands at 1-2. Gentlemen, stand you ready and lay on. Yep, looks like it cut down the face, just landing at the torso. That is a 2nd point for Lord Justin. Huzzah! Huzzah! Score stands at 2-2. Sudden death. Bring out the sharps. No? No takers? All right. All right, gentlemen, score is 2-2. Stand you ready and lay on. Looked like there was possibly a hit that landed, but it was definitely followed through with a successful cut. That is 3rd point in match for Lord Connor. Huzzah! Let's hear it for our fighters. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we do all of this for charity.